Hey everyone, this is my reaction to Kizumonogatari. So, this is what I decided to be my 4,000 subscriber special. Now, I'm only going to be doing the first part of Kizumonogatari. I believe it's split into like 3 parts of one big overall movie. And I'll be doing the first part today, and the other part next week, and then the final part the week after that. It's kind of my current plan. So, before I get into it, I do kind of need to explain kind of where I stand with the Monogatari series, because this probably will be the first Monogatari related video some of you watch, maybe the first 9 videos in general. So, I have seen most of the Monogatari series. The only stuff I have not yet seen is Kizumonogatari, which I'm about to watch now, Koyomi Monogatari, and Owari Monogatari. Everything else I've seen, so I am pretty familiar with the Monogatari universe, although it's been a while since I've seen most of that stuff. In fact, I'm currently doing a semi-blind reaction through the main series on my channel, eventually building up to fully blind reactions to, like I said, Koyomi Monogatari and Owari Monogatari, but I kind of had to refresh myself, so that's why I'm doing that. If that interests you at all, you can check that out as well. But this is also fully blind, so no need to worry about that. Now, the only thing I really know about this movie is that it's when Araragi meets Shinobu, who I guess is not called Shinobu yet in this movie. I think it's like Heart Under Blade, something like that. Obviously, a very powerful vampire back then, not the little weak, small ex-vampire-ish thing that she is later in the series. I can't remember exactly what Araragi called her. Maybe he called her a pseudo-vampire, but anyway, they obviously had some sort of encounter that was not covered in the main series that led Araragi to kind of be a vampire himself, but not really a vampire. So I guess this movie will explain a lot of that, because that's always kind of weird, very confusing when I first watched Bakemonogatari. I was kind of curious exactly what happened there. But this movie should explain all that. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing Shinobu at her prime, super powerful, legendary vampire. That sounds pretty cool to me. So, yeah, before I get into it though, there's one more thing I do have to say is my reaction format. I do not show the full anime footage in the video for copyright infringement prevention reasons. I show you some subs down here and a timer over here, so you can grab your own copy of it and sync it together with my reaction for the ideal viewing experience. Or, you don't have to do that if you don't want to, I guess, but it's kind of how I envision people doing it. So, yeah, I think that's everything I needed to say before getting into it. I'm, like I said, pretty excited to get into this, so let's just do that. 3, 2, 1, play. Yeah, there's also big black bars at the top and bottom, so I had to adjust my my thing a little bit to fit that. I probably should have refreshed my water before I jumped into it, because this is a long movie. Well, not long for a movie, but longer than a typical thing I watch. And that is a nice tree. A very nice tree. Oh, we just started. Araragi looks so distressed. What's up? Are you okay? I'm also not sure if he already knows Hanekawa at the beginning of this, or if he meets her as well in this. I'm not sure about that. Or I'm pretty sure he does. He doesn't know Meme yet. I'm pretty sure about that. Because meeting Shinobu's probably what connected into Meme, if I had to venture a guess. A very nice tree. I don't know. I don't know the significance of the tree, but it's a very nice tree. And I like how we're already making good use of the animation. Maybe what we're doing here is we're gonna show him already in the action, and then do a flashback to how he gets here. They might be going for that sort of thing. Otherwise, I don't know what has him so freaked out. I know what has him so exhausted. The never-ending staircase. Oh, I think he already has vampire teeth, so yeah, probably gotta get a flashback to how he gets here soon enough. I know, right? Nobody likes stairs. They are the worst. So you gotta be okay. Ah. Don't do anything rash, Shadaragi. It's okay. Crows are not a good sign. Especially not several dozen of them. Or hundreds. Or millions, I mean, what do I know? Wow, that is a lot of crows. That's gotta be some pretty hard bad luck. Do I hear a chopper? Or are they just flags? Did we just climb all the way up there just to climb back down? What are you doing? You have me very confused. It would probably help if you said a word, but I guess if there's nobody to talk to, you know. It's not like Araragi would ever monologue to himself, so. Doing a good job of setting up the atmosphere, though. It is a nice flag. Oh yeah, if he's a vampire, the sun's not gonna be very pleasant. Yeah, that's why you don't go into the... Ah! Yeah, that's why you don't go into the sun as a vampire. Oh god, that looks painful. I want to get out of the way, birds. You'll be set on fire. Yeah, there's smart birds making way. Although I think they'd move quicker. Well, I think we learned a lesson here. This is why you don't go outside, ladies and gentlemen. I do not speak whatever language that is. Ow. Well, Adaragi, you're just kind of a fireball now, aren't you? Does anybody have a hose or several buckets of water? Maybe the crows could, like, make some shade above you. But yeah, you really do need to get out of the sun, dude. Seriously, this is not good for your health. I can't believe we're 5.5 minutes into it, not a single line of dialogue. I mean, to be fair, he's in no condition to talk now, but he had no excuse before. Yeah, hopefully those clouds get clumped up enough to give him some sun relief. Iron-blooded chapter. Wonder if there'll be orphans in this. And that's certainly one way to start it out. Araragi rolling around in agony. Nothing new, I suppose. Still have not seen Shinobu yet. But is that sword that's showing, like, supposed to be her sword? Because I know Bakemonogatari mentioned her having some sword to potentially cut off Kanbaru's arm. So she obviously has some sort of special sword. Okay, now we're back to before he becomes a vampire. Back when his life was probably very ordinary and boring. Ooh, Hanekawa. The wind, are you doing your job well, wind? And that's beautiful. And so is she, of course. She certainly got Haragi's attention, that's for sure. So are we gonna say anything to each other, or just pass each other by? Okay, whoa, wow, that's so, wow. Okay, okay. That, you were working overtime, Wind. Oh god, that was a... Man. I've seen Gusts of Wind do things like that in anime before, but not quite that strong. Not quite that strong. I mean, if she didn't have his attention before, she sure does now. I really hope this is our first meeting, because that's great. And wonderful taste as well, Hanekawa. I approve. Anything to say to that? That's not true. That's a bold-faced lie. When you have to hunch over to hide your smaller self, then that's pretty evidence of something. I think she's a little bit embarrassed. I guess I can't blame her. Oh, this is so awkward. I love it. Yeah, just fix it. Okay, why are you a bunny rabbit now? She's not wrong, but I have no problem with it. Firewall. We don't need a firewall. Well, I guess that's one way to handle the situation. I love the little cute little hopping thing she did. Well, I'm gonna leave now, because I got nothing to follow that up with. Oh, that water looks so good. Why are you chasing me? Do you want to show me more? Because I'm okay with that. Man, that wind really is strong today. He knows his name, at least. You know her name? Okay, so this is definitely their first meeting. Fair enough, and she does know everything, after all. The kanji flashes by too quickly. That is the kanji for calendar, yes. That's the intelligent Hanekawa for you. So he does know her name, okay. We may not know each other, but we know of each other, so... Wow. Oh wow, that water is looks so good. I want to jump in it. Well, I'd say you sort of stand out pretty well in this scene. Impressive. That face. Kind of like a cat-like face, very fitted. Yeah, a little bit. Oh? What? What? I don't think oh, that's what she was surprised about. That is so messed up, Hanekawa. That's something I would expect from Senju, which he hasn't met yet, but that was so messed up. But of course, not untrue. But she did still know of you, so. Still no Shinobu, though, but it will come eventually, I'm sure. Well, if he doesn't now, he sure will soon. Do you like it when they sparkle? I think it may know the one that you're referring to. Well, he's gonna run into the vampire, so he might not be listening to this advice. Well, if you're trying to convince me to stay away from her, you're not doing a good job of it. Still not doing a good job of it. Well, no, it's the blood-sucking thing that does that. A blonde girl in Japan, don't be silly. You sound like you've seen her. I think it might be more than rumors, just have a feeling. Be careful what you wish for. You know, like, various things. Like cats and vampires and monkeys. And crabs. Snails. It really is a windy day, isn't it? Which are the best kind of days? He's a great guy to chat with. It seemed pretty legit to me. You'll have friends in time, don't worry about it. What? Not sure I follow the logic. Elaborate. Yeah, I'm not either. Try. I'm genuinely curious how you jumped to that conclusion. Okay. Okay. Still don't get your point. Yeah, I mean, friends do make life more interesting, especially if you have something in common that you can talk about with them. You know. Wow. Okay, now I'm starting to get what your point is. Yeah, okay. I get his point now. But still, it's still fun to have somebody with the same interest as you to chat with. That depends. Will we get another big gust of wind? Study? Yeah, seriously. What else do you do in a library? I believe that. I feel like you two might be very different on the studying spectrum. I mean, university is several episodes away. So we have plenty of time to worry about that. He has no friends. Why would he need a cell phone? Are you gonna add yourself as a contact in my phone? Oh, wow, those are fast fingers. As expected of Hanekawa. Ooh, that's a nice looking road. That's a nice looking road. Cute skipping. That sound effect. Yeah, for some reason I always kind of forget how stacked Hanekawa is until she's on screen again. Or you actually making friends with an attractive girl. Well, that's gotta be the worst. Been pranked, bro. Oh, Hanekawa. It's a little bit awkward, but nice. So now it's time for Araragi to head home and run into Shinobu at some point. What? Oh, Hanekawa, stop being so cute. I can't take it. Oh, that was not fair. Why must you do that to me? Uh, oh man, I did not expect that at all. But anyway, let's continue. Okay, what happened there? Is that person okay? Guess we're just not concerned with that at all. I mean, who cares about that when you made friends with a girl? So I guess that's the only thing worth focusing on. That's not safe at all. There's water like right next to you for that to fall in. Of course, she has the coolest clock. So, are your sisters around, or are they off doing fire sister things? Oh, feels like he's staring at me, and it's making. Oh, okay, that's better. I like see how we're trying to force it into our long-term memory. I gotcha. Yeah. Adaragi, don't do that while I'm here. Okay. I guess we needed some, So we did not run into Shinobu on the way home. I guess he's just gonna go out in the middle of the night, and that's how he's gonna run into her. Yeah, he's definitely, definitely needs to calm down. Yeah, please, just keep showing me that. Oh, wow. He's not even a vampire yet, and he's as fast as a speeding bullet train. Did he run through the wall? Is that what that was? Exciting magazine. Araragi, you should have used the door the first time. Or at least use the hole in the wall you made the second time. I just want some consistency. uh Hanekawa Tsubasa, we're gonna call her. Say, hey, I'm outside in the middle of the night, kinda like what you told me not to do, so just thought I'd let you know. Oh. Well, what did you do, Araragi? Did you break the city? So, what circumstances are we gonna meet Shinobu in? Will she be in a battle? Will she have a gust of wind blow on her skirts? Guess we'll find out. Ooh, blood. So either she got injured or we're looking at her victim's blood. Probably her got injured if there's a trail of it. I don't think a victim of hers would have got very far, so I think it's safe to say this is her blood. I don't know who could have attacked her though. Like, if she's such a powerful vampire, I don't know who could have wounded her like that. I mean, I guess maybe Mena, but I doubt they would be able to live together so peacefully if he had just attacked her like that. I'm gonna assume it's not Meme. Oh wow, that is a lot of blood. If I was not right, yeah, I would assume this was a murder scene. At least she left a trail for us to follow. And by the way, Araragi, I really don't suggest following a long blood trail into a place with no people. I personally wouldn't do that, but you do you, I guess. Man, how far did she go dripping blood? You'd think a vampire would have healed at some point, but I guess she was just severely injured. Yeah, victim definitely wouldn't have lost as much blood and still kept going. They would have died way before this from blood loss. But a vampire is a bit tougher. But seriously, where is this going to lead us to? Like, I kind of imagine him meeting her on the side of the road, but we're not on the side of the road right now. Although I never would have imagined he'd just follow a blood trail to her. I like how he's getting progressively more scared the closer he gets to the end of this. Well, at least the lights are on now. That's better, I guess. So what's with the beeping? Are those supposed to be like warning bells in his head to stop following the trail of blood? Okay, I think he may have seen a body. Yeah, I think we met the end of the road. Did he pass out? No, he's just freaking out. This very silly face. But yeah, it's definitely... I mean, what did you expect to find at the end of this blood trail, by the way, Adaraki? This is the only thing you were going to see at the end of it. Is a body. I mean, seriously, how did you get that injured? I'm not sure what I expected for her voice, but this is not it. You probably don't want to set it in the blood. Or get it on your hands, but... Oh. Oh, yeah. Uh... Wow, just throw her across the room. You really didn't work on your bedside manner there, Adaraki. A little bit freaked out. So can she just, like, grow the limbs back if she drinks his blood, or... And man, she is, quite stacked as well. Yeah, I kind of figured she could use some blood right about now. And since he's always willing to help cute supernatural girls, there's no reason why he wouldn't offer her his blood. I do now. Yeah, they were not wrong. That is so hard to remember. Do you have a nickname? Well, we have a deal as long as I get to, experience some of your flesh. Well, she's not dead yet, so... That was a lot of blood. So yeah, she is kind of screwed without his help. So good thing he came by. So, what are you waiting for? I would happily take that honor. I would give you my flesh in a heartbeat if you know what I mean. I mean... Good question. He can only afford to lose so much blood without dying himself. Well, he would die. Yeah, it's not exactly a good deal. How about, like, 1/3 of my blood? You know, maybe I could make do with 2/3. I can't remember on the top of my head how much blood somebody needs to stay alive, but we're gonna say 2/3. You can get away, but are you really just gonna let that beautiful blonde busty girl who desperately needs your help just lay there and die? Can you really do that, Araragi? Because I don't think you can do that at all. Come back here and let me kill you. I'm clearly much more valuable than you, man. I'm human, so Give me your blood. Is she really surprised that some random person she just met's not willing to sacrifice themselves to keep her alive? She looks genuinely shocked at that. Okay, let's not throw a temper tantrum. Wow, she really is just not taking this well. It's kind of hard to imagine this as the Shinobu we know in the main series. You might want to stop doing that, you're just losing more blood more quickly. But it's a pretty good guilting measure. Oh, this is hard to watch. Well, imagine how hard it is for him to watch. Okay, now it's starting to get scary. Uh... Uh... He was not ready for any of this. It's okay, you don't need to keep apologizing. Why do we have a baby crying? That's not helping anything. Well, I guess he made his choice. Why do we have to have that? This is... I don't even know how to feel about this. Like, I don't blame Otoragi for not wanting to literally sacrifice his life for a woman he just met. But how you can't look at that and not feel for her. I mean, even if she wasn't an incredibly beautiful woman, I would still feel pretty bad for her, of course. But that just makes it more effective. Well, you're gonna go back, I'm pretty sure. You don't know that, you just met her. Don't be prejudiced. You don't have to, but you know it's the right thing to do. Please stop playing the crying sound. I think might have broken through to him. But you can't take too long or she will die, so... I'm just really taken aback because I didn't expect her to be that desperate to stay alive, like, at all. I expected her to be much more calm, cool, and composed, kind of like, because she was described as being cold or whatever. And yet she was just flailing around and crying and desperate. It just... that was so hard to watch. It's so heartbreaking. So, of course I'm not, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I mean, I saw the girl's underwear, so his life is complete. Why not sacrifice himself? I mean, yeah, I gotta at least cop a feel before we, give up our life. You are pretty bold, Otoragi, but he was already accepted he's going to die, nothing to lose. He's still a little bit scary, though. He's resolved. Okay, maybe we could phrase that a little bit differently. And... oh, that's not a bite. Much better than a bite. And... yeah. Well... this is where Otoragi becomes a man. And by man, I mean corpse. Probably not how we expected his first time with a woman to go, but... you know. how it goes sometimes. There's obviously not gonna die, so I'm kind of curious what exactly will happen here. I guess there be some sort of compromise that lets it be a vampire and lets her still be alive. Because he obviously becomes a vampire, I mean, the very beginning of the movie. And his connection with her in the main series. That would have been one hell of a dream, but no. So, oh, is she smaller? Is she much more closer to the Shinobu we know today? Yeah, that looks much more like Shinobu, except shorter hair. Why does she have shorter hair? It kind of bugs me. Yeah. Definitely when you wake up next to a little girl that you don't know, that's a little bit concerning. I mean, first thing you do is look around and make sure there's no cops nearby. Then you ask her questions. No, you need to wake up now and tell me what's happening. Come on, wake up. If the police show up, I need you to answer questions. Wow. Don't you think it's a bit much? Yes, I got the joke. I got what she was referencing. March 28th. Man, I guess you really needed your rest. Which is understandable. She did suck you dry after all. So, I guess just go home now. I mean... But if you're a vampire already, then you can't go outside if it's daytime. Like that! Yeah. So I guess, I guess that's when you learned, yeah, don't go outside during the day. That's gotta hurt so much. Well, you didn't tell him he was a vampire, in his defense. But, yeah, let's go rescue him, although she's, yeah, she would be in danger too. But she's probably more powerful, so he'd probably handle it a bit better. It's so much fire and destruction. Oh, so much destruction. Where even are we? We're just breaking stuff. Oh, the music. She looks so cool covered in fire, but that's gotta sting quite a bit. Yeah, let's slowly drag him out of the light while she's burning herself. But yeah, maybe you should have told him something about this before you let him go outside by himself. Yeah, that had to have hurt so much. You're lucky you're not a weaker vampire, you would have been gone. Well, if you didn't know he was a vampire, then it's not stupidity. It's just understandable ignorance. Yeah, so that confirms that. What is that face? Yeah, let's not do that anymore. That would literally be hell. And... And... Head pat. Head pat. You are a vampire. Yes, just in a smaller, more compact form. That is Shinobu. That's still a little bit lengthy. You are so short. He's what? Wow. We've got through all this together and doesn't even know his name. Well, that's not true. People still call him Madaragi in the main series. Thank you for asking that question. A cram school. So is this the same place that Meme lives in the main show? That's a mouthful. Kiss shot's a lot easier to say. Blushing. Think she likes it? Very true. Just sitting with her legs wide open, why not? Yes, you did. It should be pretty clear at this point. And you should feel very honored. I mean, do you need a reason? Yeah. Before you appealed to a very different demographic. No need to apologize. You're perfect the way you are. No need to change for anyone else. In every form, you're fine, so nothing to feel bad about. Really. I guess it's much better than perishing. Well, that's unfortunate. I guess we don't get to see much of full-powered kiss shot. I see your limbs are, yeah, I could certainly see those limbs. You've mentioned it several times. I don't think you'll forget. Yeah, despite how I look, I'm much older than you are. Yes. You're so tiny. Gotta pick her up, spin around. As a sign of your obedience, give me a nice head pat. You know, as you do for your master. I I think he likes it. That's looks like a lot of fun for both people involved. That's just funny though. As a sign of your obedience, give me a head pat. You'd think it'd be the other way around. That would be a good way to go. Okay. I figured. slay my enemies that attacked me. Because we haven't addressed that yet. Somebody clearly attacked her, so we'll have to deal with them. Somebody powerful enough to take on a super powerful vampire. That's a scary thought. Well, not like completely human, but yeah, mostly. You know, human with a little bit of extra regeneration ability. Yeah, that doesn't answer the question. Oh, okay. Your word, we just met you like a couple days ago. And didn't talk much to you since then. So, I don't think we quite have much of a trust going on just yet. Three people. I guess if she was outnumbered, that does explain it a bit more. Okay. Three expert vampire slayers working together. It's starting to make more sense now. That's messed up. Yeah, you'll fight the enemies that were powerful enough to defeat me, the great all-powerful vampire, and get my limbs back. So good luck with that. Yeah, so go do that. Go beat him up. Get my arm back. Well, I guess he has the motivation, but it doesn't make it much easier. So why didn't they like finish her off then? Why did they just take her limbs and leave? I guess they just assumed she would die on her own, but why take the risk? But we would never do that. Ow! Where'd you even get the hammer? Bum 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 bum. But not stronger than she was before. Exactly. So, not sure what he can do. But still, they still have to be pretty powerful individually for a beginner vampire to deal with. Really, you're actually a lot more confident than I thought you'd be. But if she thinks so, then it must be true. But what if what if all three of them gang up on him? Oh, I think we may have met one of them. Good thing there's a train between him and us, but it won't be for long. Okay. So, are we just gonna fight him or run away? I guess it doesn't matter that there's a train between us, you can still knock him around. Dramaturgy, is that his name? He does look like a person you wouldn't want to mess with. Oh god, oh, what the heck is that? But yeah, yeah, like I said, if he runs into more than one of them at once, which it looks like he is, big problem. Okay. Number 3. I don't see a weapon on this one. But he's definitely one of them. Guillotine Cutter. That's a name. Okay, yeah, he's dead if he doesn't run away. Because he can't fight the 3 of them. Oh, Meme! So this is where he meets Meme, okay. I guess he's the one that helps out. Can you speak up, please? I didn't quite catch that. What are you... What language are you speaking? Nihongo de, okay? Okay. Apparently he can just survive doing that. Oh, damn. Kind of freaked me out because he's running towards me. What are you guys even saying to each other? Please give me subtitles. It's not like he said he wanted to order a coffee. I would still never be able to hear them out. Oyomi vamp. Well then. This has been a rough movie for Madaragi so far. It's had a lot of freak out moments. But yeah, Meme, you gotta hurry up because he will die if you don't intervene in some way. Oh, because the one guy just has like a Bible. Okay. Guess that'd be a weapon against a vampire. Okay. I want to hurry up and help him. Or I could jump in the air and they'll run into each other. Oh wow, he actually blocked all three of them. Damn. I think he may have underestimated Meme. And that's the first line he ever says in the show. That's great. They disappear? Okay. I guess we're suddenly in water. We got like about 10 minutes left of this first part. Oof. Yeah, there's plenty of reason to be alarmed right now. It's been a long day. I wouldn't call it good exactly. Yeah, just go home with some random guy you just met. What could go wrong with that? Huh, so she already knew Meme? That's interesting. Dragging your body around. Don't sell yourself short. Yeah. She's so excited to have him be back. I can't dare you interrupt her alone time. Wow. Oh, that's so cute. Did not go well, though. Sorry to tell you. All three of them got together. Because if they're together, I don't know what we do. Yeah, so there's no beating them as a group. Just not gonna happen. We gotta, so how are we gonna split them up? That's the question now. But if they're already together, it doesn't help to say that. Maybe we just Like, invite them to a duel or something. Oh, cool. Thank you for doing that, Meme. Kind of a vague question. What he does, he helps people. Hi, right? He's had a bad day. You were the balancer. He did say that. There we go. His name really is written in katakana. That's okay. But a lot of us aren't. Okay. A good word for it. How do we negotiate with people trying to murder our poor lolly vampire? Gatari. They are pretty odd, so... She is very famous. An episode where 3 expert vampire hunters got together to try to kill her. Eavesdropping. That's not cool. So how can you help? Can you get us a meeting with them alone? Is it? Right, Adaragi, fellow human, you're on my side, right? Really such a cool name, Heartender Blade. That is quite kind of her, if she can do it. If you'd be willing to. I know, kind of a silly question. Yeah, let's not bully the little vampire girl. Of course. 2? 2 million! A lot of money for high school students. Yeah, can we pay this in installments, monthly payments? Nobody's looking so smug over there. It's not gonna be easy. I don't know how we're gonna negotiate. Fair enough. Will they say pretty please? A game. Like, tag? That is the big thing, yes. Get them away from each other. Okay, but how? That's the whole point. We need a way to do it. So what's your idea for that? Well, you probably could. It's not a very pleasant debt. For your sake, I would be more than happy to. Very reassuring. I didn't think you did. As long as there's no, interest, then we got a deal. Just kidding is the last line we get. And then the cast. Casto. Not that I can read any of the names, but they're there. So that is the first part. It felt very much, it's like the first act, basically. He meets Hanekawa, meets Shinobu, although she's not Shinobu yet, but I'll probably call her that anyway. Meets Shinobu. He finds out what her problem was, agrees to help, and we just gotta do it now, basically. We know what the conflict is, we just gotta do it. All the pieces are basically set, now it's time to play the game, I guess is a good way to describe it. But yeah, I thought the first part was great. Which is no shocker, I do love pretty much all the Monogatari stuff, so. I wonder if there'll be anything after the credits. That's why I'm kind of letting them roll, because there might be. Who knows? I mean, you probably know, honestly. But I'm not a mind reader. And even if I was, I probably still couldn't read the minds of somebody through the video, across the internet, all the way to your house, where you're just sitting there watching me. Yeah, the animation especially was great, which is to be expected. Movies generally have higher animation budget, plus, Monogatari Shaft, they always know how to use the animation budget well. So the credits are wrapping up. Anything after, or no? No more credits. Okay, yeah, that sounds about right. Still have like a couple minutes, so I guess we'll just do my, after video discussion right now. Anyway, so the movie was really good, like I said, and I was wondering whether or not he knew Hanekawa before this movie, and he did not. They actually had their first meeting in this movie, which was interesting. I think we saw something like that in the very first clip of Bakemonogatari, the whole wind and Hanekawa's skirt and all that. So yeah, now that I think about it, that was probably a shot from Kizumonogatari. Because now that I think about it, yeah, I think Bakemonogatari did have like a bunch of very quick flashes of Kizumonogatari stuff in the very first episode. So yeah, the skirt was part of that, and that was that was pretty great. Like that was some grade A level wind. I mean, as far as wind goes, I don't think you can ask for a better one than that. So that whole meeting was pretty great. I liked how Hanekawa handled it. She was obviously pretty embarrassed, but still they'll handle it in a pretty, lighthearted, funny, cute manner. So I like that a lot. And they had their conversation, which is pretty typical, the banter stuff that Araragi usually does with characters. So yeah, I really like that scene a lot, especially with the whole, I have an alien friend, and just like, you have friends. That's the surprising part, not the alien part. We got something. Okay. Well, that was Hanekawa's voice, so clearly she gets wrapped up in this, which shouldn't be surprising. I guess taken hostage or something. Okay, yeah, that's it. So anyway, yeah, after some banter, Hanekawa adds her name to his phone, and they're suddenly friends, which is great. And then she just, leaves, and just some much adorableness kind of transpires through that. Naragi was also pretty excited to have a friend in his phone. Like, he gave this whole spiel about how he doesn't want friends because they're a weakness, and I mean the real reason why he doesn't want friends because it shows how petty of a person he is. That's what it really boiled down to. But his rationalization was just like, it makes him less human, but it's not the friends that are doing that, it's just your, overall personality. That was funny, but he's still excited to have a friend and all that. And that wasn't the only thing he was excited about, because, yeah, he was pretty excited when he was home. We never actually got to see the sisters, though, which is a little bit unfortunate, but they're not really relevant to the story, I guess, so it's fine. But he just went off in the middle of the night to get a magazine, and then at some point saw blood and followed it a great length of distance to eventually find a heart under blade, kiss shots, Shinobu, whatever you want to call her. She was there. She was laid on the ground. So of course I knew he would meet her at some point. I was kind of envisioning something like, he's walking down the street and she just kind of over there maybe drinking someone's blood. And she turns around and sees him there, and she's like, huh, there's a witness to me drinking blood. Maybe I should deal with this guy. And then through some sort of shenanigans, they end up becoming friends or whatever. I don't know. It's kind of what was my mental image of what would happen, or either that or she would like be injured, which is actually what happened. But it wasn't like wasn't it still wasn't quite how I pictured it. I was expecting maybe a light injury, like maybe a little bit of an arm injury. It's like like a little bit banged up, a human. Can I borrow a little bit of blood? But it was much much more extreme than that. She was way away from people, just like way underground, I think. Just a huge trail of blood, just limbs missing, blood all over the place. And there was no casual, hey, I'll take some blood now. It was more like a very desperate, screaming, tantrum, wildly flailing sort of thing. Definitely would not expect any kind of reaction like that from her. Not in the slightest. I was just imagining so much more of a calm, cool, collected, composed, cool beauty kind of vampire character. But, I mean, that's just she wasn't the circumstances that she was in did not lend itself to her being able to portray that kind of persona. So yeah, I guess she just was just really desperate. Is all it came down to. However, Araragi probably would have been willing to give a little bit of blood fairly easily, but that's not what she asked for. She asked for all of it. And that's a bit much to just run into someone and say, hey, give me all of your blood and die so I can have a chance to live. Well, okay, here you go. But that's not going to realistically happen, so he initially kind of ran away, but he came back because he just couldn't let her die. And because of that, he kind of lost his humanity, became a vampire himself. Of course, did not know that, I guess. He just kind of wandered outside and tried to burn to death. But luckily, he was a pretty powerful vampire, so he's not going to die that quickly. So Shinobu just kind of ran out there and grabbed him and came back inside. So I think you learned a very important lesson there about not going out into the sun. So that's good. And this is when Shinobu actually becomes the little lolly character that we know her of in the main series, because she just couldn't get enough of Madaragi to get her full form back, because she actually had her limbs taken from her. So that's a lot of missing powers, so I guess it just wasn't enough. So she got a very minimal, compact form to where she can still be fully functional, as a sentient being, but not like doesn't have the overwhelming power she had before. And that's when she describes the whole situation. The three vampire hunters that work together to take her down. Aragi's now a vampire. He has to track them down and kill them to get the limbs back one at a time because he can't do them all at once because that's too overwhelming. And the problem is they're still together. They're still together, so he can't do that. They got to separate them somehow, which we did not get a method of that in this episode. We just had talks of negotiation. That's all we really got. But I guess my man has some idea to split them up. I can't even really imagine what that would be, unless he just somehow convinces them that they got to do stuff that they individually have to do. Like, maybe he's like, hey, your mom called, she's in the hospital, you better go visit her. Oh, and your dad's like in jail, you might want to visit him. Like, unless it's something weird like that where he gives them each an excuse to go do something and to them leaves just one of them there to take on, and then one of them will come back and then one will come back later. That's obviously pretty silly, but I can't think of anything else really. But anyway, Meme did show up. He helped out Aragi out of that situation. He's talking about maintaining balance. He showed Shinobu the cram school that he was in. And I don't know why it didn't click with me initially that there was the same cram school that Meme is in the main series. It just looked different to me somehow. I don't know. Kind of dropped the ball on that one, I guess. But the point is, we're all there. We're all working together to maintain balance. And we're going to work on some sort of plan to get them separated. And he's going to take them all on one by one and get all of the limbs back. Although the one thing, because obviously I have the power of hindsight and all that, or foresight, I'm not sure which one it is, but because I've seen the main series, I know that Shinobu still remains in that form in the main series. So I have to wonder, does this plan not work at all? Does she never get her limbs back, or what? Because clearly she makes Araragi into a much more, he's not 100% human because he still has a regeneration, but she obviously does at some point pull him back from vampireness back to mostly humanity. So, and she would need her full power to do that though, right? So I'm a little bit confused exactly how Shinobu gets to be the way she is now if she manages to get her limbs back. So, I don't know. We'll obviously get an answer to that. I'm just kind of curious what that could possibly be. I'm sure it'll be quite a long adventure between now and then. I'm sure a lot will happen, and I look forward to seeing exactly what that is. Because yeah, this movie was pretty good. Got me pretty hyped to watch the rest of it. Definitely all the good Monogatari goodness that you would expect from the Monogatari thing. So pretty cool. So yeah, I think that's all I really had to say on it. Well, the point is, good stuff, and I will be reacting to the other two parts as well, like each a week from each other, basically. So if you liked this, then look forward to that. Thank you for watching, and a special thanks to Cnouki for supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you consider clicking the like button and leaving a comment, because that's a great and easy way to let me know that people want more. If you want to do something big to help the channel, you can support me on Patreon and get nice benefits like early access to certain videos. See you next time.